Last night, I went to the SSERAFIM concert and it was amazing. Probably one of my favorite concerts that I've ever been to. And the crazy part about it is we actually streamed the entire thing. So if you want to see my experience of it, you can go ahead and watch it. It's up on the channel, split up into two parts because the first one ended up getting cut off. But whatever, it's up there so you can check it out if you want to. And it's glorious 240p quality. We also had a lot of people pull up to the live stream, which I didn't expect, honestly. I did not think we were going to get that many, but we did, and it was awesome. So if you were one of those few people that joined, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Reading your live chats was extremely funny and entertaining, and it made my experience of the concert that much better. So thank you. We're going to talk about the live stream a little bit later, but first I want to recap the entire show. We're going to go through the entire set list. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a review at the end because we didn't get a chance to do that when the concert ended. I gave like a little bit of a short review, but we were on our way out. We were in a rush to get out of there as fast as possible. So we didn't get the time to just sit down and talk about it, which is why I'm doing it now. But with that being said, let's talk about the venue. What was the experience like? What was the atmosphere like? This concert was being held at the Prudential Center in Newark. This is actually not my first time going to this arena. I recently went to see aespa in this exact same place like 9 months ago, and I didn't like it back then, and I still don't like it now. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that the layout of it is really weird. It's a hockey arena, so the capacity is much smaller. I think it's like 13,000 and 15,000 capacity. And the problem, this is the biggest problem. If you're in the top sections, it is super, super steep. It's like you're looking at it like down like this. So it might not be the best experience for everybody that's in those top sections, but thankfully my seat was actually pretty good. We got some good viewing angles towards the stage, and given the price that we paid for it, I actually think that it was definitely worth it. My ticket came out to about 120 bucks, which is the most expensive ticket that I've spent on a K-pop concert. Twice Ready to Be, 50 bucks. aespa, it was like I think 80 bucks. This one, 120. I think if you can get seats, if you're going to this exact same arena and you can get seats in the lower sections, I would recommend it depending on the price, right? If it's like 300, maybe not. But if it's like 200, it might not be such a bad idea. That's just something to keep an eye on if you are planning on going to this venue, because a lot of K-pop groups like to perform here. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. But what about the atmosphere? What about the crowd? Was it hype enough? I think I've been seeing a lot of differing opinions on this topic, and some people are even saying that the crowd was dead. I don't know if I completely agree with this, because from my section, section 129, there was people screaming and yelling behind me all the time. My mic on my phone wasn't picking it up too well, but I promise you, people were definitely hyped. I think in the beginning, part of the problem was that people were still coming in. You can see it even in my live stream that the crowd was pretty empty and it started getting filled up. Even like 15, 20 minutes into the show, people were still coming in late. So I think that had to do a little bit with the energy, because it took a while for everyone to just get settled in and get into that like, oh, concert mode. So that was part of the problem in the beginning, but towards the middle, things started getting really, really hype, especially when they started playing their bigger hits like Crazy, like Smarter, or sorry, it's not Smarter, it's just called Smart. Smart, Crazy, Anti-Fragile. When those songs started playing, that's when the crowd really started blowing up. And Fire in the Belly, that was one of the highlights from the entire concert, because that's such a hype song. It's literally a stadium anthem type song. So during that section specifically, everybody was going nuts. So I definitely think, yes, in the beginning, the crowd was definitely down, but it ramped up a lot, and it was great from that point forward. So yeah, differing opinions on that, but let me know what you guys think. For those of you guys that did go to the concert at the Prudential Center, what did you guys think about the crowd? I thought it was fine. I think that part of the problem is the fact that the majority of people that were there at the concert were probably like new SSERAFIM fans. And also, I think the majority of them were probably not even diehard K-pop fans in general. A lot of casual listeners went to this concert because K-pop has become so mainstream, and SSERAFIM as a brand has been pushing itself to be more like appealing to just like everybody, not just K-pop fans, but just the wider demographic of casual music listeners. So I think that a lot of people there just aren't diehards, and that's another reason why the energy probably wasn't as high as some people are used to at K-pop concerts. With that out of the way, let's finally talk about the concert itself. Let's go through the entire set list song by song, and I'm going to be splicing in a lot of my footage, but I'm also going to be looking at other POVs and putting their footage in the video as well. So if I use somebody else's footage, I'm going to credit them down like in the corner below so you know whose footage is which. But with that being said, let's get into it with the first song, Born Fire. I thought that this was a really good start because the whole like middle section of the stage was like literally on fire, and you can hear like the crackling of the flames, and it kept getting more intense as they were building up to their entrance, and then boom, right into Ash, which is honestly, in my opinion, one of the greatest B-sides that has come out in K-pop this year. Absolutely love that song. It sounded amazing live, and it was a great way to start the concert. They then go into Hot, which makes sense. That's their title track for their most recent album. So good start right there. Then they go into Come Over, which I love. I love Come Over. I love the fact that it's a jungle produced song. And yeah, from the very beginning, I was always a fan of that song. So that right there, 4-track start, was absolutely perfect. I love their outfits, although because they were wearing white, they had like this really big like spotlight beaming on them, and it made them look like they were literally shining. So on my footage, you couldn't even see their faces. That's how bright they were, which obviously is good for the show, but bad for the video for me. But regardless of that, I thought it was fantastic. Great outfits. I liked the ones that they put on later, but these white ones were really nice. After that, they went backstage for a little bit, and when they came back, they did Good Bones, and the entrance of that was really fun because they were like, you know, they had the camera on them while they were under the stage. That, you know, that section like behind the stage, under the stage, whatever it's called. I actually don't know the name for it, but like that specific section, they were standing there and they were like passing by each other. The camera kept switching between the members. It was a really cool entrance, but that obviously leads into Easy and then Swan Song. I thought that was actually pretty good. I'm not a fan of Easy, but I like the way that they brought in Easy into this concert. Then they played Sour Grapes and Blue Flame from their first album, and I'm really glad that we got to hear them because, you know, those older songs are the reason why I became a SSERAFIM fan. I've been rocking with them since Unforgiven. So then they played So Cynical, which I thought was a little bit weird because this is from the newest album, but it's appearing much later in the set list compared to the other songs on that album. But anyways, they did this, then they went to Impurities, and then The Great Mermaid. I definitely think that this was my least favorite section in the entire concert because these are, with the exception of Impurities, these are my least favorite songs that they've released. So definitely a slower portion of the concert. But this is where the concert truly starts to pick up because they do Smart, Fire in the Belly. They do the Chasing Lightning intro, which I think they shorten it a little bit, which I'm glad because Chasing Lightning is a really, really long intro song. So I liked the version that we heard at the concert. And that goes into Eve, Psyche, and the Bluebeard's Wife, which in my opinion, I think this is the best SSERAFIM song that they've ever released. It's so fun to listen to. I love it so much. It is one of the greatest experiences of my life getting to listen to this live. But then they went into Crazy, which Crazy is peak. Love Crazy. And then 1-800 Hot and Fun, and they did the Wear Saki thing. I missed the first part of the Wear Saki thing because I didn't know. Listen, up until this moment, I had not really watched other footage of their concert because I knew that I was gonna be here. I was gonna get to see them live myself, so I didn't want to spoil myself. I didn't know that that's what they did. I didn't know that they had like people show up to the concert and they did like Where's Saki moment. I didn't know that, so like I didn't know what to look out for. I missed Rachel, Yoonjin's sister, in the beginning, but I made up for it because we did get to see her in one of the later clips that we got from the concert. Then they did Pierrot, which I don't like that song. I've never been a fan of that song. I'm still not a fan of that song, but it is hype, so I like the fact that they put it after 1-800 Hot and Fun, but that goes into Fearless, which is their first ever song ever. So I'm glad to see that here as well. But the peak cinema continues, because then they go into Burn the Bridge, my favorite intro track from all of their albums. This one is the one. It's so perfectly crafted. The production on it is excellent. But yeah, Burn the Bridge is fire. Then you got Unforgiven into Anti-Fragile. Come on. This is the greatest 3-track run in a concert that I've seen in a long time. Fire. Absolutely perfect. Then they do Crazier, which is definitely a much slower song. They're winding the concert down a little bit, getting into the more emotional side. And they end off the concert with Fear Not, which I thought was a great song to end off on, because it's about the fans, right? The whole song is about us. So I love that was the way that they ended off the concert. But that was not the end of the show, because of course they had to do an encore. You know how it is, K-pop concerts, they have to do an encore. And I was surprised by this. They performed different, which I was not expecting them to do different, because it's a Japanese song, and traditionally K-pop groups don't really perform their Japanese songs outside of Japan. But we got different. We got the English version of different, but we still got different. So that was a win for us. And they also did Perfect Night, which again, I'm surprised that this came so late in the track list, because it is one of their most popular songs. But we got it in the end, so I'm glad that we got it. And they end off the show. The entire concert ends with No Return, Into the Unknown, which is a great song. That one is also from the Unforgiven album. The Unforgiven album is just so peak, man. There's no misses on that album. So yeah, great set list. I love the pacing for this concert. It was pretty much like song after song after song, with very few breaks in between. And the breaks that we did have, I thought were okay. 2 10-minute VCRs maximum, and I'm glad that we did have those VCRs, because I used one of those moments to go downstairs and go pick up a portable charger, which was honestly like a funny experience. That was one of the highlights of the stream, like running down to go get a charger. We didn't even know if it was gonna work. We thought, oh, we might not be able to get one. It might be a lost cause, because I had my tap to pay on my phone, but I'm streaming on my phone. It might work. It might work if I tap to pay, even though I'm live. We'll try it. Digital wallet. We're back. We did it. We got the charger. Oh, they're back. And it worked. We were able to get the portable charger, we charged our phone, we were able to keep the stream going, and we made it back to our seats in time. So for me, this was definitely one of the highlights, because it's just such a random moment that you would not find anywhere else. But one more thing that I want to mention is, right before they did their encore stage, they spent quite a lengthy amount of time talking about how appreciative they were of the fans, and how blessed they were to just do this as a career, which is honestly a crazy thing. And it was a raw emotional moment, because Yeonjin started crying at one point. The members were hugging her. People in the crowd were crying. People in the chat were crying. I saw you guys. But in all seriousness, like, yeah, it made me like think about just how much I'm appreciative of the fact that I get to go to the concerts myself and get to witness this, because, you know, it doesn't happen all the time. And it's because of the videos and the live streams that we do that's able to pay for it all. So yeah, honestly, it was a great moment, a great reflective, introspective moment, and I loved it. Plus, and this was the best part about it, they announced that they are going to be releasing new music next month. In October, we're getting a new comeback, and that's also really exciting. That is something that we got at Newark that no one else is gonna get at the other concert stops. You know what I mean? We were the ones to get the news first. We broke the news. So that's a really special moment that this specific version of the concert is going to have, that none of the other American stops are going to have. So thank you for doing that at the Newark show. I appreciate it. And yeah, that was the SSERAFIM concert. Also, I just wanted to mention this, but somebody has been stealing my clips. I saw like a post on TikTok earlier. Actually, I think 2 different accounts reposted clips from my stream, and they didn't even credit me, which is like, listen, if you want to repost my clips, no problem. I'm not gonna complain, but at least credit me. I worked hard for that 240p footage. You know what I mean? That's how I know it was mine. That's how I know it was my footage, because nobody else is recording at 240p. In fact, in one of the videos, I can hear my voice, and they're just taking it. They're just taking it, yoinking the clip. In fact, one of the videos actually credited the wrong person. What? Just somebody, please, if you see the videos, if you see those TikToks, and you recognize that as my stream footage, just be like, hey, Sony sent me. That's all. Hey, just PSA out there. My clips are out there floating in the wild, and yeah, it is what it is. All I want is to be credited. That's it. So with that being said, what score am I giving the concert? I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I honestly did have a fun time at the concert. In terms of like ranking the 3 K-pop concerts that I've been to, Ready to Be is still number 1. Ready to Be Twice tour, then it's gonna be this one, then it's gonna be the aespa tour. That's my list for now. But yeah, no, honestly, I would love to go see SSERAFIM perform again in the future. I don't know when that's gonna be. It might be 2 years from now, but whenever that happens, I will be there. With that being said, let me know what you guys thought about the concert. If you were there, let me know your experience. Let me know your thoughts. If you're watching the live stream, let me know what you thought about it. And yeah, I mean, we have more stuff on the way, so please stay tuned. And with that, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.